Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the white girls over in New Jersey, okay? So this is the Real Housewives of New Jersey review. All right, so listen, this review shouldn't be that long because it wasn't like a whole lot going on, but it was still a cute episode nonetheless. All right, so Danielle. Shout out to Danielle. Danielle has, her business, Bougie Kids. I think it's an online boutique, I believe, right? She said before, basically, this is not what she said, but this is what she said. Before the show, the online boutique girl sold an outfit here or there. Girl, but now, since she's on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Bougie Kids has, girl, shot to the moon. And she has now participated in New York Fashion Week. She also said that she created 7 pieces for the online boutique. So shout out to Danielle for using her platform to get, to help her business. Some of the girls get on these shows like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Hey, Sheree. Hey, Toy from Married to Medicine. And girl, they don't want to start doing anything with their platform until season 10. Just a mess. Anyways, um, Danielle, her husband, and their 2 kids go because the daughter, what's the daughter name? I think it's Valentina. Giovanni? Versace? Girl, I don't know. Girl, it's something. It's something. It's one of them names. Girl, Giovanni, Valentina, Versace. Okay. Um, the little girl went and took headshots. She needs some new headshots. She says that basically, girl, the little girl is gonna be, girl, the next big Disney star, basically. Um, oh, they're throwing a party. Nate has some previous health issues, and it was pretty bad, and I think he could have lost his life. And so they're throwing like a celebration of life for Nate. It's been 6 years since his surgery, and so they want to celebrate that. Louis and Teresa, they're having a conversation. Teresa's daughter, Gabrielle, is about to move away, and she's really emotional about that. Shout out to Louis' father, who is 8 years into his sobriety. They had like a little, like a, not a meeting, but basically like a party, I guess, to kind of celebrate him being sober for 8 years. Dolores and Polly, girl. But I'll tell you one thing about Black Dolores. Black Dolores, now, I didn't watch New Jersey like that. I just started watching New Jersey, what, four seasons ago, maybe 4 or 5 seasons ago. I would catch episodes. I would watch parts of the reunion and all that carrying on, right? Um, Black Dolores ain't gonna go without no man. Hello? Girl. Girl. Black Dolores. Girl. I guess when you're a woman of a particular age, girl, you know what you want, and you're gonna go after it, girl. Dolores should have moved in with Polly. Um, I guess things are going okay with that, girl. What's going on with Frank? Frank not on the show no more. Y'all know I like Frank. I like all of the men on the show. Well, not Louis. Louis get me weirdo. I'm sorry. That Louis is weird to me, girl. He's weird. That's a strange fella. I don't care what nobody got to say. Um, but Frank, I know it's only been 2 episodes. It's only been 2 episodes this season, so Frank could pop in later in the season. But I heard. I don't know if this is true or not. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Acknowledge me when I'm right. Shout out to Funky. But I heard that the men get paid on New Jersey, and if Dolores got a new man. It's one thing when Dolores was with David, because David wasn't on the show. David said, I don't have time for this mess. David gonna pop in on that motorcycle and pop back out. So I'm sure David wasn't on the payroll if they are getting paid. I don't know if Frank, I just heard the man get paid. So do you think that could be part of the reason that Frank may not be participating? Because now, since she's in a relationship with Paulie already wasn't going for all that carrying on that Dolores and Frank was doing. Frank gonna just pop up, and Paulie said, "Absolutely not, no, ma'am." So, do you think that Paulie has now stepped in, and he could be possibly getting paid, and Frank had to step out of the picture? Do y'all think that's what's going on? I mean, Paulie is carrying. Paulie is cutting up and acting a fool. He almost got girl. Girl, he almost popped. Girl, he almost popped John last week. Girl, hello. Girl, he almost popped John Fuda. So Paulie said, "Girl, I clock in. I clock in. I do what you need me to do. Cut up and act a little bit of a fool. Okay." Um, but anyways, her and Frank, Dolores and Frank are flipping houses. Dolores lets it be known that even though she's in a relationship with Paulie, she will never pretty much not be financially independent. There was once upon a time in her life where um, she wasn't finan- girl, she wasn't financially independent. I don't know why I lost my train of thought. She wasn't financially independent once upon a time in life. And she'll never put herself in that position again. So shout out to the Lord. Shout out to the Lord. This is no shade. I don't even feel like this is no shade. Shout out to the women. There's nothing wrong with being in love. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship, but there is nothing. It has to. You just never want to put yourself in a position where your back is against the wall and you're like Jen married to Jen Aiden. Remember, Jen done popped out all those kids, and one of the reasons why Jen said pretty much that she couldn't leave Bill was because she ain't had no money. That's what she said. So now you put yourself in this situation where even if you wanted to leave your husband, you feel like you can't because you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. But when you got your own coin coming in, right? You might still stay with your husband, but girl, it'll be a hell of a lot easier to walk out the door because at least you know you got somewhere to lay your head. Hello. Anyway, so shout out to the Lords. Melissa, girl, can I say something? Is this mic on? Because I need to make sure I say this loud and clear. I want to say this very plain and clear for the girls and boys and the non-binaries and the non-gender conforming folk. I don't too much care for Teresa. Okay? Teresa is not my favorite housewife at all. With that being said, I get it. In the housewife world, there's team so and so, team so and so. It's fun to kind of play into that. I think some of you take it just a little too seriously. Okay. Like I say, I'm team twirl, right? At the end of the day, in real life, girl, I don't know Kenya Moore. I don't know nothing about that lady, right? I go up for Kenya as a housewife, but in real life, girl, I really don't give a damn about none of these housewives like that, like that. Like, do I wish them well? Do I, hope they, girl, accomplish their dreams and goals and aspirations? Yes. But I'm not friends with any of these women to feel like I'm connected to them the way that some of the other housewife fans and stands feel. Some of the girls and boys who I see online, they're a little weird and strange. Y'all take this housewife stuff very seriously. Um, I don't go up for Teresa. That don't mean that I go up for Melissa. I think in this Teresa Melissa situation, people feel like if you hate Teresa, you must love Melissa. And if you love Melissa, you must hate Teresa, right? If you go up for Melissa, you can't go up for Teresa. If you go up for Teresa, you can't go up for Melissa. I don't too much care for Teresa, but I don't go up for Melissa. Girl, I don't give a damn about Melissa. Girl, I think she cute. I think she a fun time girl. She ain't really did nothing that make me to dislike her on the show since I've watched. But girl, I'm not this team Melissa type of girl. I'm just like, oh, there go Melissa, she cute, right? Oh, there go Melissa. She likes to have fun. Melissa likes to party. But girl, just because I dislike Teresa, don't mean I'm no team Melissa because I'm not. Girl, if we want to be very, very clear, I don't give a fuck about neither one of them. Okay? So anybody who's confused about where Rodney stands as it pertains to the women on New Jersey, if I go up for anybody on New Jersey, it's Marge. Hello? That's the girl who I go up for. Melissa and Teresa, I don't give a damn about either one of them. So we don't need to get in the comments talking about, oh, you dislike Teresa because you like Melissa, girl. I like Melissa, but girl, I don't go up for Melissa like that, baby. When you bring Marge into the conversation, then we can talk. Okay? Girl, you would have had a better chance that I went up for Jen before Melissa, quiet as it's kept. Anyway, so Melissa. I feel like Melissa was putting on a stunt in the show at that dinner table. So basically, they took Antonia out to celebrate her 18th birthday. I think she turned 18, and then plus, she's going away for college. And the family comes out, and Melissa starts to give a little speech about Antonia. I think that's her name. And girl, she starts to look like she's about to cry, but I didn't see a tear fall from either eyeball. So I was like, okay, girl, she's trying to put on the show. I didn't see a tear. Oh, did y'all see when Joe cousin or Melissa's cousin walked in and Joe kissed him on the lips? I said, "How you doing? How you doing, Joe? Yes, God." No, but for real, I know that that's probably because they're Italian. That's their culture. I love it. All BS aside, I'm not trying to say Joe is gay because I don't think he's gay. I was just being messy. It was a messy moment. Um, I love the men on this show. While I do believe that they can be misogynistic, I do believe they can be sexist. I'm sure they probably said some homophobic stuff somewhere in their lifetime. I think most people probably have, right? But there's something about these men when they get together, they can have a good time. And everything isn't so, I have to appear like I'm this straight man. Like these men are very secure in their sexuality, they're very secure in their manhood, and them greeting each other with a kiss is not that big of a deal because that's what we do. Us, girl, taking a shot out of a dildo is not that big of a deal. Girl, I like women. I have a wife. I like vagina. I love vagina. I love women. Not me. I love men. Okay, I'm talking about them. Um, but I just like the way that they interact on this show. I know some people don't go up for the men on New Jersey. I don't know why. I think they play a very important role in the show. They can handle their own. The mess can be kind of mixed in with the women, but they also have their own mess going on too. I don't know why people. I see a lot of people don't like the men on the show, and I just don't understand why. Because they deliver. They really do. Um, but anyways, Joe, one of the cousins, I think it's Melissa's cousin. He's gay, and I think Joe was one of the first people that he told, and Joe was very accepting of him being gay. I think that's an amazing thing because again, I can see Joe and other men, just men, period, but men in their culture being very macho and probably even homophobic at one point, and for Joe to kind of still, love on his cousin-in-law and tell him that it's okay, I think is an amazing thing. Excuse me. Joe starts to get emotional again. Here we go, Melissa trying to squeeze out some tears. Melissa, like I said, I don't know why. I just felt like I hate to sound like an asshole because I know that's her daughter, and I know that she probably is emotional. But I felt like Melissa was trying to put on a show at that point. I don't know why I feel that way. I just do. Um. Anyways, congratulations to Gia. She graduated. Girl, the girls are graduating, girl. The girls are going to school and handling it. Shout out to all the girls who handled their business, okay? So Gia graduated. I think she's doing something with law. Now, girl, let's get into this. So, Rachel. Rachel said in her confessional that John was selling pot when he was 17 and he got arrested. She's upset that she's upset because she feels like Teresa tried to weaponize something against Joe when he was a child and use it against him. Can I say something? I don't know. This is just what I think. This is not factual. This is just what I personally think. Okay. For some reason, the spirit tells me that even though Rachel is telling us that that's the story, I feel like it's more to the story. I feel like John sold more than pot. You know the white girls, you know the white people, they call it pot. Right? You sold pot. Girl, you're like my grandmother. My grandmother said they say he sell dope. Shout out to my grandmother. But old school. Our grandmothers, they call it selling dope. It could be weed. It could be anything, including weed. They still gonna say, they say, they sell, they say he sell that dope. Dope. He do. What they say? What is it? Then you buy that as some weed. Grandmama, it's just weed. Just. Now, I'm not saying just because you acting like you on the street slinging pills and cocaine and meth, girl. Girl. But anyway, so for real. I think that for some reason I just feel like it's more to the story. While I do believe that John did get arrested at 17, I don't think that's a lie. I think she's telling the truth about that, but I don't think that's when he stopped. I think that's probably what's on his record. And so because that's probably still on his record or was on his record, I think they've decided to say, we're just gonna say that you sold when you were 17 and when you got in trouble what you did, but anything after that they can't prove. That's what I feel like. I really feel that way. I don't think John stopped. I think John was selling weed at 17. I don't think he stopped at 17. I don't. I don't. I don't go for Teresa, but whatever I feel like there's some truth to what Teresa was saying. Was he the biggest? Was he the biggest drug dealer impression counter? Wherever she said no. But was he one of the biggest? I believe he was. I sure do. I sure as hell do. And I don't believe that that's the story that Rachel said. And I also want to know why the fuck is Rachel telling the story and not John? I don't need to hear shit from Rachel. Rachel wasn't even there. Okay. Rachel wasn't there when John got arrested at 17. I need to hear John tell the story. So, John, what happened when you were 17? I don't need to hear shit from Rachel. Because every other man got a confessional. We saw Joe with a confessional already, second episode. Didn't Louis have a confessional? So why they can't get John ass down to the confessional and let him tell the story? I don't want to hear shit from Rachel. I'm sorry, wife and all. Rachel was not in the picture when John was 17. Hello, girl. Was she? I don't think she was. So I just need to know. I need to hear from John's mouth. And even if John did come out and say that, girl, yeah, I did get arrested when I was 17, I still wouldn't believe that was the end of the story. I would still think it was more to it. I think John, girl, what does John do for work? What does Louis do for work? Girl, what does Joe do for work? I know Joe built Melissa a house, so he's in construction, right? Girl, they need to run down their resumes. Because as far as I'm concerned, girl, somebody said, I forgot this. Girl, I think that, and now I'm being messy bringing up old shit that ain't got nothing to do with season 14. Did Frank lose his license? They said Frank was a lawyer and then he got disbarred. Is that true? Allegedly? Girl, what y'all got going on up there in New Jersey, girl? Motherfuckers losing licenses and shit? I said, my goodness. Girl, I have a fit if I lose my YouTube page. Girl, you done lost a whole license? Girl, you know how much work going to becoming a lawyer? I said, oh, girl. Is that true, y'all? Y'all let me know. Anyways, oh, Dante. Girl, who was Dante? Did y'all see Dante? Girl, I said Dante is fine. Well, I put Dante fine. That's what I put. Dante fine. Dante, the white man with the two. He had two sleeves. Did y'all see him? I think that was what's that heifer name? Rachel. I think that was Rachel's friend's husband. I forgot her name, but her husband's name was Dante. I said, well, who? I said, well, who the fuck is that? I said, okay. Girl, you have to look real fast. You know what? One thing I'm gonna do is find girl, one thing I'm gonna spot is a fine ass man. Girl, you have to look real fast. They were walking through. They were coming inside of the function. He had on a black shirt and I think either it was short sleeve or the sleeves were rolled up, but I think he had two sleeves. And at one point, I think they showed him sitting beside the girl, the wife. I think she said she was a second wife. She was an upgrade because Margaret asked a question to some of the ladies: Are they on their second marriages? So what type of shit is this? Melissa, girl, you are girl. Melissa is so bothered. She is. Melissa, when Teresa and Louis walked in, Melissa, hey Teresa, hey Louis, how you doing? Like I think she said how you doing or something like that, or come kiss me on my cheek. It was something like that. Like you clearly want to interact with Teresa and Louis. And if Teresa would have turned around and said, "Bitch, what you say, girl?" Then Melissa would have swore up and down. Girl, she ain't said nothing. I don't know. God, I don't know. I just feel like, girl, Melissa, you're clearly bothered by Teresa's presence. And if you are Team Teresa, girl, this is a moment, girl, this is your moment to prove that Melissa is a hating, jealous ass bitch. Who's bothered by that girl's presence, okay? Now you got you a good example, okay? I'm sure y'all gonna say y'all got plenty of other examples from season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, girl. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, Melissa, girl, so you bothered by Teresa and Louis, girl. You're very bothered. Joe's bothered too. Joe and Melissa, they both bothered. I think it's one thing for Teresa and Louis to have conversations about Joe and Joe and Melissa at home, right? But I think it's another thing to kind of when we get in front of them, girl, pay them dust. Like I could see Teresa and Louis paying them dust and Joe and Melissa being bothered because Joe has already shown first episode this season when he was like, "Is your friend coming?" When he said something like that at the party, talking about Louis, and then here we go with Melissa talking about, "Hey Teresa, hey Louis, girl." Anyways, Jen Fessler, she's a fan of Teresa's. She's a fan of Teresa's. Teresa pulls her to the side to have a conversation. This is after she asks if Jen had some weed. I said, girl, this is it was I don't know. God, I don't know. It was just a weird that's that okay. We only see 47 minutes, 50 minutes of these shows, and we know they tape hours, hundreds of I think every week that they tape is one episode. I think. Because I think that's what Quad said on Married to Medicine. I could be lying, but like every week is an episode. So I guess by Sunday, whatever footage I have that week, that's going to be that week's episode. The next week, I don't know, child. So I don't know how to do it on New Jersey, but I just, or every few days, I don't know. It just was weird to me how they kind of like Jen asked for like the weed pen. I thought that was weird. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Um, Teresa asks to pull Jen to the side to have a conversation. They talk. Teresa wants to know about the conversation that was had about Margaret. I mean, about them. I guess setting Teresa and or coming out to Teresa and Louis at the reunion. Um, Jen basically tells her in a nutshell, pretty much, girl, they were upset about the PI situation. They had already caught wind of what happened. Margaret, was very upset because her son was getting phone calls. And so, listen, I'm not saying it's right, but I understand it. If we're going into this reunion and we all find out that you are or your boyfriend has hired a private investigator, girl, of course they're gonna come in, girl, guns a blazing. And girl, it just is what it is. But the way Teresa is acting is if she doesn't understand why they probably had this meeting. And on some real shit, Teresa, I'm sure this is not the first time you have heard of y'all getting together before the reunions to figure out what's going to be said. Teresa has been on the show for 14 seasons? 13 seasons? What, 14 seasons? How long it's been on? Teresa knows what's going on because I'm sure you've participated in some of these same conversations. Hello? Um, she brings up Teresa calling John a drug dealer presently. She was like, no, 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 no. I will say this much. I don't remember Teresa saying that he was currently. The way I took it, and I'm not going back to watch the episode because I don't give a damn, but the way that I took it was Teresa was saying that he was in the past. The way that Jen delivered it to Teresa was that they were upset because they felt like she was saying that he was now. John is trying to say basically you're going to believe a convict over listen convict girl. Of course, when you're a convict, right? Some of us will automatically say, "Oh, girl, you can't trust them because they got convicted. They're a convict. They're a felon." But John, just because I'm gonna say is, I was about to say something real fucked up and insensitive. I'm gonna ask a question. No, I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me shut up. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. Um, Margaret says that when they saw that Jen was talking to Teresa, and Margaret says when Jen gets a few cocktails, basically she gets a little, she gets diarrhea by the mouth. Hmm. They kind of nervous because they don't know what Teresa and Jen is talking about. Teresa said Jen basically says that she kind of believes Teresa because Teresa put it on her kids that I guess her and Louis. Whatever, girl. This is the thing. Louis did the shit. They know Louis did the shit. I don't give a damn about. I don't give a damn about Teresa putting it on her kids. Talking about we didn't do it, girl. You probably didn't do shit, but your husband did it. Hello. Um, and then I put Jen Fessler is a fan of Teresa's. You could tell the way she was talking about Teresa in her confessional. You could tell like she was kind of like she's happy to kind of like have this friendship with Teresa. Let me say this. We know this is not real life. Because in real life, when you don't fool with people, you just don't fool with people. You don't go to lunch, you don't go to dinners, you don't go to birthday parties. If me personally, girl, I'm gonna ask who gonna be there to this day. Girl, who gonna be at your party? Oh, okay, girl. Who gonna be there? Girl, it's gonna be a couple of people. Who is a couple of people? Girl. Um, because anyways, but as long as Rachel felt some type of way about Jen, I guess, starting to build this friendship with Teresa. Listen, if Jen is not disrespecting or breaking any type of loyalty towards any of her other friends to hang out with Teresa or any of the other women, it should not be a problem. It like I think also they've already went down the road, but they'll go longer down the road if they start this whole you can't be friends with so and so because this so and so and so. Girl, I get it. Again, people don't talk to people they don't like. If I don't know, girl. It's just if Jen is not showing that she's disloyal to the friendship, then Rachel shouldn't care. Marge shouldn't care. But if Jen starts to kind of show that girl, she's moving kind of funny, then of course that's when they can have the conversations like, girl, it is what it is. Anyways, I think that was pretty much the show. Yeah. Oh, Jackie didn't come. I wasn't mad at that because one, Jackie is not a full time cast member anymore. I'm back and forth about whether or not the full like cast members should come to an event. But I get it because we're shooting a show, so all the cast members should be in attendance. But for example, like what's gonna happen when it's Melissa's turn to throw an event? Is she gonna invite Teresa? Probably not. And vice versa. It is what it is. God, I don't know what they're gonna do about New Jersey because if they go divided the whole season, then girl, they're gonna fuck around. What's gonna happen, girl? If y'all want to be honest, girl, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. What's gonna happen, girl? They're gonna fuck around and fire Teresa and Melissa next season, girl, and our team, Melissa and Teresa, Melissa and team Teresa gonna be looking crazy because if Rachel clocking in like she clocking in and John clocking in like she clocking in, Rachel gonna fuck around and bring over some of her homegirls like Miss Thing and Dante. Girl, y'all gonna fuck around New Jersey and start slowly but surely seeing a soft reboot. Go hey, hello. Because they can't bring back Melissa and Teresa next season. Somebody gotta go, girl. And if y'all say that Andy, girl, if y'all say that Andy loved Joe, like y'all say he loved Joe, hey, who you think going? If y'all say that Andy loved Joe the way that they say he loved Joe, okay, y'all fuck around and girl, team Trey gonna be girl gone. Melissa gonna be still out. Okay. Anyways, girl, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye, y'all.